Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Teddy Corral, one of the national trainers here from Mortgage Coach. Happy Friday to everyone out there. And so this is our third training session, and just want to reach out to everyone and just congratulate everyone for logging in to Mortgage Coach and creating a total cost analysis. Some numbers that I like to just kind of throw out there. Since our first training session, we've had over 100 of you log in and create your first total cost analysis. After our first training session, 145 total cost analysis were not only built but sent out to clients as well. And 93 of you have downloaded RateWatch, if I'm reading these stats correctly. And for those of you who have not had the opportunity to log into Mortgage Coach, hopefully today is that day. And for those of you who have not had the opportunity to get logged into RateWatch, take advantage of it. It's basically your MBS market tracker at your fingertips, and you can see that here on my screen. And I'm going to demo a little RateWatch as we move on through today's training session as well. Hey guys, this training is for you. Hopefully I am able to deliver that Mortgage Coach value so you can turn around and deliver that to your clients. Any questions you have, anything you'd like to see, feel free to reach out. You can drop your questions in the chat box, and you can always email support@mortgagecoach.com, support@mortgagecoach.com as well. So just a quick recap before we get into today's content, which is going to be covering Refi. I'd like to show just a few purchase scenarios as well. So one of the purchase scenarios, and something we talked about on the last training session, is a rent versus own presentation. And through a rent versus own presentation, you can basically deliver this to any client that you're working with or any realtor that you're working with as well. And if your business is really purchase-driven and you're working with some realtors and getting some referral business off of their listings, this is a great presentation to be able to deliver to them and help get clients off the fence, or at least acknowledge why they should be living in a home ownership versus continuing to rent. So that's a rent versus own presentation. As you know, Mortgage Coach is built for refis and purchases as well. So I want to show you just a couple of purchase presentations that you can walk away with, just as we showed you on our last training session as well. In this particular analysis, this is a down payment comparison. So just leaving you ideas and strategies that you can really help your clients out with, getting them to their goals, their wants, and their needs. You'll notice that every analysis is similar, so it helps you with the delivery of that analysis. Every analysis has 4 quadrants, and each quadrant has a more info tab. So not only are we breaking down the charts and graphs for you, but underneath the more info tabs, it's a fully number breakdown to at least give the client some good content on what they're viewing and how they're viewing it, and the way to break it down for them. And the next analysis I'm showing you here is the cost of waiting. So this is, as I mentioned before, someone, help them get off the fence and moving forward. Create that urgency in this cost of waiting. Now, rates are fairly low. We don't know how the market's going to shift. Overnight, gas prices just jumped like crazy, or at least here in California it did, right? And you never know when rates can do the same. Ideally, in a situation like this, you're just simply showing your client today's rate, what you could do for them today, Mr. and Mrs. Client, versus if you waited, and what the cost, the long-term cost could be. So you're fully educating your client here and creating some urgency for them as well. Once again, if you work with realtors, realtors love an analysis like this because you're helping them with creating that urgency. And the last purchase analysis I want to show in here as well, and the list is endless, guys. Think about the market you're in. Think about the last, 5 loans you funded. Think about the amount of loans you funded last month. Even go back the last 3 months and think about that, those loans you funded as far as your products go. Because any product that you're currently funding on a monthly basis can be built inside of Mortgage Coach Edge. In this analysis here, you see that I've added video, number 1. Number 2, I just created an 80-10-10 for my first product, a 90% with a borrow paid MI, lender paid MI on my third product, and 90% single premium paid. And then as we did our very first training through the launch, we built a simple FHA versus conventional. You're basically tailoring it and guiding and building to what your client's going to understand. So keep it as simple as you can, especially through your delivery. Okay, you want to be able to deliver this at a smooth pace as well. For years and years, we've sent cost fee worksheets through PDF attachment, an Excel spreadsheet, of course, through a PDF attachment, and there's nothing wrong with that. But are we giving them the full education? Are we fully educating them on the long-term performance of the loan? It's a big financial decision. And in an analysis, you can help with those financial decisions, not just today while it's funding, but tomorrow and into the future. So those are the purchase analysis. Let's go ahead and get into our refi content as we get started with today's training. So today what I'm going to be delivering and basically focusing on the most is refis. Now rates are fairly low, and Mortgage Coach works really well for refis just as well as it does for purchases. But think about the amount of loans that you funded last year. And many of you have been in the business for years, so you can go back further than just last year, the last 3 to 5 years. And you can create and build an annual mortgage review. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that annual mortgage review looks like. So I've already taken time to build this, and what I'm showing you in this analysis is this is the current loan. Okay, so this is the loan they're currently in. I'm just showing them a basic rate and term refi because the rates are low, and I'm also just throwing in there for kicks and giggles a 15-year. So at least I'm giving them some apples-to-apples comparisons. Once again, you can build any product in there to show them and compare against their current loan, but keeping it simple. They're not anticipating this from you. You funded their loan a year ago. They've moved into that home a year ago. Life changes, as we all know, and moves quite quickly, okay? So can you do better for them? Maybe you can, maybe you cannot. But at least you're keeping in contact with them. You can add video into this mix as well. Out of sight, out of mind. Well, it's been a year since we funded your loan. I just want to assure you that your loan's working, as it should be. But, rates have changed, products have changed, and I can help you out if you decided to move forward with this first product and save you roughly around $326 on a monthly basis. If you were looking to become mortgage debt free and pay your home down at a quicker pace, then maybe we can talk about a 15-year. When you have an opportunity after viewing this presentation, feel free to give me a call. You can drop that in a video into this analysis. And once again, when you're adding video into the mix, they can visually see what you're presenting and verbally hear the content you're delivering to them as well in an annual mortgage review. And how did we get there? Okay, so I'm going to take you back into the software. Once you get logged in, as most of you and many of you have logged in, okay, it sounds like we're still good to go. Are we good? No audio? Sorry, guys. It was telling me that it was muted. That was kind of strange. All right, let's get back into the thick of things here. Okay, so once you get logged in, of course, this is your Mortgage Coach dashboard. The upper portion here, once again, is for your clients. So any refi or purchase that you build in Mortgage Coach Edge, those clients are going to sit here. Once you build a client in there, it'll always it'll be saved in the system for you. So it's not going to go anywhere. You can come back into that at any time. As I mentioned, any mortgage review, right? So for an instance, let's just say you've all been using Mortgage Coach for a year. So you're coming back a year later into that same analysis you built for them a year ago, and then you're going to turn that into an annual mortgage review. So it's one way of doing it. And you don't have to build from scratch because you've already have this built out. So I'm going to double click on this client here and just kind of take you through a quick step process on how to basically build this. Okay, one thing I'm going to do though to go back in a year later is I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm going to click View All. can type in the client's last name. So this is technically what I'm using as a last name. So I just searched for the client, and you can see here I have the annual mortgage review. It's time-stamped. So basically that would be time-stamped as if I worked with this client last year. Now, let's just use this as an example. You built this analysis for them a year ago, okay? And maybe it was a simple FHA versus conventional purchase. And they decided to go with the conventional. I'm just using this as an example. But you're coming back in here, okay? And you're going to copy that same analysis. So you would copy that, okay? And it's going to open up a whole new analysis for you, and that's when you're going to start to build the annual mortgage review. So it's going to take you right back in here, okay? All that current content is going to stay in there. Going to arrow through, and rather than doing a purchase for them, you're just going to click lower interest rate. All you're doing here is telling the system that, yes, this is a refi. You're going to jump on over to your assumptions tab. The reason why I put my mouse in this tab, so you can see the 3 pages that are entailed with this tab, because now it's a refi. So when you do and build a refi inside of the Edge wizard here, it's one additional page, and this is that additional page there. When you're building a purchase, you do not have these 3 pages there. Okay, so I'm going to go on over to spending. I put in my property value. And now I move over to the mortgage tab. So I just clicked on the mortgage tab there. And this is their current loan. So this is the loan that you funded a year ago, 2, 3 years ago. You know, whenever you happen to have funded, it's an annual mortgage review. You're keeping in contact with your client. Another thing you'll notice too in the system is anything highlighted in red with asterisks, you notice that I fill those sections in all the time. I know by filling those sections in, when I get to the very end, the last tab here, presentation, I will always have a completed and finished total cost analysis that's ready to be sent out to my client each and every time, as long as I fill out the highlighted sections. So from assumptions, I move over to a monthly fee. So this is the monthly cost on their current loan, and just putting in, you know, taxes, insurance, monthly MI. And from this point, now I can produce products for them. So I've currently put in all their current information. So those are the first 4 tabs there. Okay, most of that information you already have. Why? Because it's an annual mortgage review. You already have this info. So once I complete that, I'm going to jump on over to products. I built 2 products in here, which is my 30-year. So we'll talk about that one first. And just as you built an analysis for them in the first place, now you're tailoring it to them for what you can prepare for them, you know, into the future. So any title that you put here, it's for you to help them understand what mortgage proposal or loan scenario you're proposing to them. So anything you put or any way you title in there, keep in mind it does hold you to 12 characters there, but any way you title it is to help your client understand what you're proposing to them. Okay. Here's where building an annual mortgage review comes in extremely efficient and very productive, because you already have all their current information. It should only really take you roughly about 5 minutes or less to build this, because when I get to this point, and of course anytime you get to the product, right, everything's going to be blank here. You don't want to have to be building from scratch. So after I title this, I would click my copy from button. And everything that's built in their current mortgage, which you see here, current mortgage, that's the box you're seeing in blue in the back end screen there. You would click OK. By clicking OK, all that data that you built in their current mortgage here, everything's just going to auto-populate for you. Okay. Next, what I would do is change this from no, is this a refi, to yes. Okay. So the current equity and base loan amount calculate properly. And then you're going to update the rate that you're currently going to propose to them. And now you're set. So after you title it, copy from button, change it to yes, update the rate, and this product's pretty much complete. As you arrow through to the next screen, you go into closing cost detail. Okay. And as you know as well, and something to point out, I point this out in every single training I do for every organization we work with. When you come into your drop down here where it says apply from template, Your templates are customized and built for you guys. So as you can see here, okay, this is I'm in the Albuquerque system here, but according to the branch that you're in, your fee templates are customized and built out here. So feel free to maneuver around in there and find the template you're looking for. You have several closing cost templates. The best part is when you click on any one of these, right, everything just automatically populates for you. You can edit it if needed. More importantly, because it's already customized, once the fee template sets in here, click apply to loan, and the numbers automatically populate in the right line items there, and you simply move forward. Just as well, we used our copy from button, so those percentages of the taxes and insurance move right on over. Their current mortgage has MI. Excuse me. Their current mortgage has MI, so I would just, and as you can see here, the MI is removed. And anytime I build an analysis, whether it's a purchase or refi, I can show 4 different loan scenarios. In this particular case, I'm only showing 2 comparisons against their current mortgage. So I would have that green button there, and it would say add another product. I already have a 15-year in there, so I'm going to move straight to that. And I just repeat the process, guys. I title it, so I'm naming this one a 15-year mortgage. I use my copy from button once again. Okay. Now I have the option to copy from the current loan or from the 30-year. Now, being the 30-year, I have added my fees in there. Okay, more than likely for a 15-year, your fees are going to be the same or slightly different, so there's not a whole lot of change there. I would then copy from my 30-year versus the current. So I'd click OK, right? Update my rate and my terms. As I move forward, because I use my copy from button, my fees are built in, my monthly costs are built in, and I'm done. So that's where I really stress the point, and you can build these annual mortgage reviews. I understand how busy it is originating. I've been in the business many, many, many years, so I get like, wow, it's easy for me to keep at what I'm doing because I know it so well. But once you enhance and get to the learning curve of edge, it's just as easy as what you're doing now. But now you've gone the extent of delivering, a fully educational total cost analysis to point out, the entire loan scenario for your client. And an annual mortgage review truly helps them understand on, now I'm going to move to the analysis tab, and it truly helps them understand, many clients when you are talking to them about a refi, they come back to you and say, I'm really comfortable where I'm at, and I understand you're trying to help me, and it can really help me save some money on a monthly basis, but I just don't want to start over. Well, technically, they don't have to, right? You're just proposing an annual mortgage review, and in this analysis tab here, in this screen here, we have a reinvestment strategy. So you can take their mindset away from not having to start over. You can take their mindset away from rate and payment. And that's in any purchase or refi analysis. You're separating yourself apart from the others. In this particular scenario, they have 26 years left with 273 months left of MI. Okay, and here, right? Look how you're helping them, and look what you're saving them. Even if I split that 357 and a half, and I added in $250 there on a monthly basis. Okay, if they did that faithfully on a monthly basis, they would get to the freedom point and be able to pay their home off in 22 years. You just saved them 4 years off their loan because they've already paid their loan down for 4 years. Actually, you saved them a little bit more. But this is annual mortgage review. If you're looking to add that one extra loan a month to your pipeline to add up to your annual numbers at the end of the year, you think about it, that's 12 extra loans a year instead of just one extra loan a month, just by presenting annual mortgage reviews all day long. And I tell you this because I have, I work with thousands of originators across the country, and when they learn about what the annual mortgage review can do to keep in contact with all their past clients, and more importantly, get 1, 2, 3 deals out of it on a monthly basis, that's just extra money in your pocket, guys. Now, another piece of the annual mortgage review, too, is, okay, this is their current mortgage. So anytime you're in the analysis tab, which we're in now, and you click on that reinvestment button there, Move this to the side. You click on the reinvestment, this grid's going to pop up. And each loan scenario you have built in for this client already is going to appear in this grid. So you're showing the client here, hey, I'm saving you 550. You said you're pretty comfortable. You didn't want to start over. But not only am I saving you 550, but I just split that 550 in half to 250, right? So I added 250 faithfully. You'd now be able to pay that home off in 22 years. I'm also presenting a 15-year. Not that I want you to get locked up in a 15-year mortgage, but I just want you to know that I can help you become mortgage debt free and get into that freedom point. And then change the conversation about, when do they plan on retiring? How old do they plan on being when retiring? And more importantly, when do they want their home paid off? So most people, when they retire, one of the biggest goals is to purchase a home. The next is to have that paid off by the time you retire. So those are different angles there. All right, so let's simply move on. I want to be able to show you a few more refi analysis and open it up for some questions as well. As I get into contact, and not to spend a whole lot of time on data entry, you guys, I'm all aware of this, especially with over 100 of you logging in and creating your analysis, but just to familiarize yourself with where everything's at. I get on over to presentation. I get and click on the preview page there. And one thing to really point out is when you get to this point, you click Generate Link. Once you click Generate Link, remember, this link that I'm highlighting here, okay, is attached to this presentation. So you can click Generate Link as many times as you like. Do understand that this does not get sent out automatically for you. It's only sent out via email or text, okay? So I highlighted it, I copy it, all right? And I pull over an email. Let me bring over an email I set up for you guys on my other screen here. I pull over an email. I go into my hyperlink box. I click Add there. I'm going to drop in that link here, and I'm going to name that Mortgage Analysis. I click OK, and that should be pasted right here. Okay. So I want to show you a few things. Number one, guys, we have scripts like this for you. If you're reading this script right now, you know this script is built for purchase, and I'm showing you refi. If you were on the last training, I showed you a refi script, and I was talking about purchase. I just want to get everyone's attention that we have these different scripts for you guys. That's number one. Number two, that link that I just copied, this link here, you notice that I hyperlinked it. Okay, so I was actually able to name it. So let me repeat the step really quick. Okay, so you just go in here and you highlight your link. You copy that link. And I am using a Mac. So in the Mac version here, your hyperlink button is listed here. You click the drop down, you click Add, you paste your link in there, and you can title this any way you want. You notice that I named it Mortgage Analysis here. You can name it, Mr. and Mrs. Smith's, home loan analysis. Mr. and Mrs. Cordova's, refi presentation. Anything you want to name it. You can put the property address in there, but it's all set up in there for you. So now when you're sending over the link, it looks a little bit differently than just clicking or tapping on the link. If you're using a PC, you see this marker blinking right next to my mouse cursor there. You would right-click on your mouse, and this box is going to appear, and the hyperlink button will now be in here. Versus the Mac, it's uplisted under the entitled in the email box up on top. On a PC, you have your mouse cursor blinking. You right-click, and your hyperlink button would be listed there. And now this is ready to be sent out to client. When you send this information out to a client and they click on your link, remember this is still linked no matter what, it's a hyperlink no matter what, you just gave it a name. But when they click on that, you get notified that your presentation's been viewed and how long it's been viewed for. This gives you the opportunity to follow up with your client. That's the huge difference maker here, guys, is when you send this out and they click on this link, they can click on it from any desktop, laptop, smartphone, tablet, but you get an email notification that your presentation's been viewed and how long it's been viewed for. When we're sending out Excel spreadsheets through PDF attachment, we have no idea when our client's viewing that information, unless obviously we're on the phone with them. But they may have looked at it at 7 o'clock this morning, and you have no idea. Then they went all day thinking about it, and sometimes about it. Everyone doesn't understand the mortgage process as us mortgage professionals. So at least when they're viewing your mortgage analysis, even if it is 7 o'clock in the morning, you're like, okay, I got the email alert. I can give them a couple hours to think about it, but come 9 o'clock, I'm following up with them, or whatever your follow-up process is. Okay, so I did want to point that out. It's a huge, huge game changer there. And just to show you a few other analysis you can build for refis as well, right before we open it up to some questions, is in here, this is what I call the 3 jars of investments. Okay, and you can use this in many different factors as well. Think about any of you working with a CPA or financial advisor. Think about anyone, that you're working with that maybe has, a little net worth built. Or what about a client, what about a millennial client? Okay, they're shopping all over. They have no idea what a mortgage loan is truly, truly about just yet, right? And so you can build an analysis, and then you can have a sample analysis just built and blow them away by like, hey, once you purchase this home, I really want to show you how to pay this home off before retirement. They're millennials. They're still very young. I mean, I can go on and give you all sorts of analogies on why you should have this 3 jars of investment built in your arsenal. What I mean by arsenal is your mortgage coach platform here, okay? You can have a sample presentation built just like this. But in this analysis, the 3 jars of investments, all I'm showing a client here is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, here's the current loan you're in, okay? Here's what I like you and like to help you do with retirement, and showing you how to pay that home off in 17 years. So you're using some of the retirement monies, and I'll get into a little bit more about that in a second. The freedom point. The freedom point, right, is I need to pay, and I would like to pay my home down as quickly as I can. Here's the age I plan on retiring, and here's what my goal would be to pay that home off. So they reach that in paying their home off in 9 years. And of course, taking the little cash out on the 4th and last scenario I built here, taking the little cash out, 50,000 cash out, and using some of that monies and getting their home to be paid off in roughly 14 years. You can see I made a few highlights here. But once I click the summary section and the more info tab under that summary section, here's where I've inputted this information. Okay, so I use some of their savings. I've used some of the retirement money, okay, and by checking these boxes listed down below, okay, this money's that listed here, by checking those boxes, is using to pay down the first. That's how I get to my freedom points. So I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to take you into my analysis here. And take you right into the analysis tab. And roughly under that reinvestment strategy is where I add all this up. So this analysis tab, as I mentioned in the first 2 trainings, this tab here becomes your best friend. What purchase or refi, guys? This is a great page. Many times what I would recommend is, once you get to the learning curve and you feel really comfortable with Edge, that's when you come in here and you can start to maneuvering some numbers around. Another piece of getting through the learning curve really quickly is, select accountability partner, a mortgage coach accountability partner with someone there in your office, and build an analysis. So, one of your partners may be working on 3 purchases right now, and you may be working on a couple of refis, right? So you build a couple of refi scenarios, they build a couple of purchase scenarios, and share them with each other. That really helps get through the learning curve as well. So that is what we call, folks, the 3 jars of investments. just some more strategies and ideas to give you, just to leave in your knowledge base, right? How much I can really do with this Mortgage Coach Edge platform. And then in here's just debt consolidation. Okay, what's better? Consolidate my debt or taking some cash out? Keeping the breakdown simple. All right, Lori, do we have any questions we can answer before we move forward?
No, not right yet. I have had a couple people mention that they don't see the correct fee templates. It could be that you're assigned to the incorrect branch and we just need to reassign. So I've done that for a couple, and Wes, I'm working on that with you right now. And if there's a specific fee templates, Wes is asking on a question. He's on the product page. After setting up a new client, he can't find the New Mexico products to import a 30-year fix. Lender paid MI versus traditional. I don't think there's product templates for the lender paid MI products, but we can look into it, and I could talk to George about that later. Another question we have is Fred is asking, how can we get a copy of the 3 jars of investment? So he would like to get a copy of your presentation if it could be sent to him, and we could do that as well. What we could do is send it out. We could also forward this to George so he has a link to this presentation. And as of now, that's it. And George, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. So if you want to say any words, you can.
Sure. On the LPMI, we didn't create a separate product template simply because with lender paid MI, you're just putting in a different interest rate that already includes the MI factored in. So don't be looking for that to come down the road. But if you have a question on how to do a comparison of LPMI to monthly MI, just let me know and I'll walk you through it. I did have a couple questions, Lori.
Okay.
One, if Teddy, you could walk through again how you copied your customer data into a new analysis. And secondly, if you could walk through what you would show somebody in an annual mortgage review when their existing loan has an interest rate that's lower than or equal to current rates.
Okay, so to answer your first or your last question first.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, I got confused on that one. Sorry, but good question there, George. What you would just do is whatever their current mortgage is in, you would just build that. So if you can see here, which is going to highlight there, that's their current mortgage they're in. So whatever that data that you need to fill in, you can fill that inside the Edge Wizard there, and then you're going to compare whatever's available to them. In other words, what you can do for them today. So the rate
no rates are higher now.
Right.
Assume rates. This is a loan I did last year at 3 3/4. There's no opportunity to refinance, but I want to stay connected. So I want to do an annual mortgage review just to stay connected and maybe even find out if they're planning to move or buy investment property anytime soon. So what would I show them? How to pay off early? What would you put in there?
Oh, you mean strategy-wise?
Strategy-wise,
and with the rates being higher. Yeah, so basically what I would do is strategy-wise is I would show exactly this here, but I would add some monies into paying down the home so I can get to a quicker freedom point. And then I would still show that 15 years well, strategy-wise, because the rates are higher.
Okay, very good.
Thank
you.
And then also look into the fact, does their current loan have MI? MI rates have dropped. Is that a factor? Or does MI, maybe they have current MI, and now you can put them in a loan with a lower MI, so that lower MI payment will fall off sooner, and you can balance that out as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then you're asking about, the copy of the analysis inside the software. Let me bring that back over. So a few ways of doing it. So you go into the analysis itself. So I'll double click there. This opens up the analysis. Anytime you go into analysis, it starts you off with new client, but I'm going to go right back into the analysis tab itself. And right from inside this page here, you have your copy analysis. So if you wanted to build this analysis for the same client, then you would leave it on current client, and then once it copies itself, then you can make your edits and changes from there. If you really like this analysis, like the gentleman who was just asking, hey, can we get a copy of that? He might want to have a sample copy in, in his Edge Wizard there. So then he can send this out to each and every one of his clients that, he chooses to by clicking new client here. And then you would update the client's name, of course, whatever the property value would be, or I'm sorry, current property value and the rates. And your analysis is done each and every time because you're using your copy from button. So that's one way you can do it right from inside the analysis tab there. The other way you can do it is you click View All. And of course, you can type in the client's name, by your search, or you just click the search key here. And George, as you can see, as I scroll down here, you can see now when any of your originators click View All, they're going to see their client's name listed here. Because I use my system for training every day, of the week here, you can see all the different strategies I have built in here. Any one of you folks out there can build a sample presentation, such as the many sample presentations I showed you today, and have this in here. And then when you get to the sample presentation you're looking for, you click on the drop-down arrow next to the file. It's time-stamped, so it shows you the last time you were in this presentation. And then you see onto my right-hand side of the screen, it allows you to open it up, to view it. You can add an analysis to it, so you can add different products to it. Or, once again, as George was asking, you can copy this entire analysis to a new one for a new client and just update it from there. You can view the history, so it shows you the last time you're in there, if you sent out an email, any changes you make, it shows you your whole history in here. How many times it's been viewed and how long it's been viewed for. And that's how you would copy the analysis.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then I did want to show or talk about Rate Watch. Folks, take advantage of Rate Watch. So this is your MBS tracker in your back pocket, as we call it. Basically, what you're looking at here is an up to the date by minute. The market shows that we're currently down 3 basis points. You can share these screens as well. So you can see my little toolbar back here. If I tap on that, this screenshot right here, as it's showing, I can send a text or email out. Because many times, Wall Street itself may be jumping up or down, and the clients are, stay tuned into that part of the media, but they really don't understand how our market works. So what this is showing you is we're down 3 basis points. If the screen is green, that shows that the market is, in a better trend, in a positive movement. And we get alerted every time the market shifts 15 basis points as well, whether it's positive or negative. You can show the Rate Watch chart, which is your home screen, or you can go to your toolbar there and show a Day Watch chart. And so it looks like we've had a lot of movement, but we're only down 3 basis points since the opening bell. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But, hey, you can share this with any client, prospect, or realtor as you wish as well. And then going back into my toolbar, alerts. We haven't had any alerts. So anytime, as I mentioned, the market shifts 15 basis points, your alerts will be listed there. And then to take you right back into my toolbar, Edge Views. As I mentioned, anytime your presentations are viewed, you receive an email notification allowing you to know that the presentation's viewed, but more importantly is that inside your Rate Watch, it shows all your Edge Views as well. So you can track them by the day, how many times your client looked at it all day. And you can also tap on the info button, And in here, you know, when you send this out, obviously you're putting your client's email, their phone number, so you have all their contact information. If you want to view what you sent out, you can tap on that link there, just as your client can tap on it when they view it, okay? And the analysis you sent to that client is going to open up. And now you can start to view what you sent them. And you can go into payment summary, payment breakdown, closing costs. Everything's listed in there for you guys. You have your fee templates built in. So it's all broken down for you. You want to get to the point where when you're in the system, you're literally clicking away. But you have to get to the learning curve. You want to get to the point not only are you clicking away, but being very efficient and productive about it, because you can build that analysis within a 5 to 8 minute period, including adding video as well. So George or Lori, is there any questions that we can answer?
I asked mine, Teddy.
Perfect. And Lori, do you have any questions? Lori, you're muted there.
There we go. Okay, Optima Blue. It is coming. It should be within the next week or so, I believe, George, and we'll be able to have another training show you how you'll be able to take a file from Optima Blue to Mortgage Coach. We will be sending the recorded link to George. We'll be able to send that out. They're also asking for that scripting that you have, Teddy. We could provide that, but can you also go to the help button and show them where those email templates and the scriptings are?
Absolutely.
And I did have while you're working that, I did have a question on TCAs as well as the partner reports. If you could copy an open house flyer into a TCA. Unfortunately, those are two separate areas and you can't copy your data from one section to the other. But we'll have a training on an open house presentation later and we'll discuss that more. And there you go, Teddy. You can show them where that scripting is.
So the scripting, not more than just the scripting, guys, but when you click on your help key inside the wizard, it takes you to our support center. This is our knowledge base. So anything and everything, such as all the strategies I just showed you today, I covered a lot because I talked about our last training and purchases and showed you strategies there. And it's not necessarily strategies what you're presenting to the client, but the strategy you're using behind it. Point being is that everything and anything is listed in here. So you can learn how to build any one of those presentations in here. You can also type in, let's just say you're looking for FHA as an example. Click search, and everything we have listed on FHA will appear. Now going back to finding the scripts right in here, you can tap on MC scripts. And folks, they're constantly updating these scripts. I can't even keep track of it sometimes. So maybe the scripts that I showed you in last week's training or and today's training may not currently be in there, but we can send them out to you as well because they do constantly update these scripts. And what Mortgage Coach is doing is just trying to assist you. And hey, I put my first total cost analysis again, and it took me an hour. You know, we don't want you to get overwhelmed right away. We want you to be able to get to the learning curve to where, you know, you put the analysis together, you kind of in a rush because you have to get it out right away. Now you got to go write a long email. Well, the emails are here for you. You can copy and paste the stuff, edit it all you like, and then, you know, drop the link in there and send it out to your clients. And any more questions there? I'm trying to get through the question box, but my question box is completely locked up, so I can't see if any questions are coming in at all, Lori. I believe you're muted.
Sorry. Okay, Diane had a question. It's some difficulty with video and sound. If you can email us at support, and if you're getting any kind of message, just let us know when you email us. It could just be a setting with your recording. So just email us and we can help you out there. And that's support@mortgagecoach.com. And that's about it. Oh, and as for the app, if they're using a mobile device, the borrower will, when they click on the link, it will direct them directly to their app store to download the app. It's a free app. Once they have it downloaded, they click on the link and they can view their presentation. And can you go to a fee template real quick? Just pull down a fee. Dick has a question. Where do you enter seller paid closing costs and down payment assistance? So if you could just go into the products. I know I had a couple questions on the down payment assistance program, and I'll put something together with George. But with the down payment assistance, especially if they're a silent second, we don't list it as a second, but we put that information in the closing cost details. So I'll follow up with that. But if you go into the closing cost details, you'll see any kind of the fees there. But in the paid by, you have an option to switch it from borrower, seller, or lender, and you'd be able to identify it there. You see where Teddy has it. So you can identify if a fee is being picked up by the lender or the seller. You can indicate it there. And as for a down payment assistance, it's just an additional line item, and I'll put it all together. It's a little time consuming to put right here. So we'll follow up with that and give you that. But if you look in the help section of Mortgage Coach and put in down payment assistance, we have a video tutorial on that. And yes, Carolyn, this is recorded. And yeah, depending, Bill, he's asking if RateWatch could be downloaded on his office laptop. It definitely can be downloaded. It really depends on the security settings on your company, if they allow you to download it. If you email us at support, it's also, the download is on our website as well, and we can help you there. And I believe that's it so far on the questions coming through.
So you're talking about RateWatch?
Yes, on the RateWatch for that's.
Oh, well, he was asking for the laptop. Yes.
Yeah, there is a download on there, and just email us at support and we'll be able to take you to that, because most people are using it now on their mobile. So, and I think that's it. Is there anything else you would like to discuss, George, before we close out?
Nope, that covered it.
That was a great call. And everyone, I mean, everyone's in there developing TCAs, and I'm so impressed with your company, and it's great to see it. And if you have any kind of questions, let us know. And George, we could get together and schedule more trainings, either on the open house presentation, maybe a down payment assistance. We could do a quick one on that as well. Just let us know what you need, and we'll go ahead and create the trainings for your company.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Teddy, we're all.
Well, thank you, George. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Really enjoy training you guys. So since you guys been using Mortgage Coach, over 1,100 TCAs have been built and completed. Since after our first training, 145 total cost analysis was built. So kudos, congratulations, and feel free to reach out to us just as all the questions are coming in. I wish I could have seen that question box. It sounds like it was pretty busy there, Lori.
Definitely.
And use best practices, keep it simple, add a video, deliver your value, and good luck to all. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.